Discussion. Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. Just this morning, we were discussing about EMS transports, and the argument given to not privatize EMS services is that we are saving money for the city, and yet we've had to increase our transport fee to $1,000 and added a $13 per mile mileage fee, and we're struggling with our collections. I know we've raised did an additional $1 million than what we projected, but we're still less than 50% in collections. And now we're going to be spending $250,000 on legal matters. So we really need to study this matter closely. Thank you.
Moving to a vote on the item, favoring, opposed,
No.
item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Item 39 is an item.
Discussion.
So
Tagged by Councilmember Sullivan.
40 is an ordinance.
Tagged by Councilmember Sullivan.
Item 42 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
43 is an ordinance.
Tagged by Councilmember Sullivan.
44 is an ordinance.
Tagged by Councilmember Sullivan.
Item 47 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
47A is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
47B is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
48 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
52 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
54 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
55 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Fifty-six is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
That completes the items on the consent agenda under the matters held. Item 65 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Favoring, opposed, item carries.
Item 66 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Councilmember Cohen.
Thank you, Mayor. Sorry. There was no closed caption working, so it was a little hard to
I'm sorry.
hear. So I apologize for reading it later. So we are on item
66, last item on the agenda.
Thank you. I just want to be sure. I just wanted to take a moment to thank my colleagues for their time and attention to this issue. I really appreciate your interest, your questions. I think it challenged us to come together to put together a pilot project that, while not perfect, I think is in the right direction. And we don't want to sacrifice the good for the perfect. It's a goal to get to, but I think we have a good ordinance here, and I certainly would appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
And Councilmember Cohen, thank you for all your hard work. And please in the future let us know when the captioning is not working, so we can. Sometimes there's a technical issue.
Thank you, Mary. It was working, and then it wasn't, so I'm not sure what happened.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Bradford.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a input inquiry for future purposes, as it related to this particular item. I noticed online the city's official agenda and backup material was released online. I haven't seen the 3 years that I've been here where there were letters of support from citizens or neighborhoods published officially online as part of the backup material. My question is, are we going to start doing that? If we are we going to permit opposition if they have a position they want posted online as part of the official package? Are we going to allow equal time to publish online as part of the backup material? I fully support the item, and we'll be voting yes, but at the same time, I want an advocate of fair play. And I'm not insinuating that anybody who are opposed should have or could have been posted on this item. That's not my issue at all. My issue is one of our procedure for going forward. If we're going to post letters of support in the backup items, are we going to allow letters of opposition as well?
Councilmember, we have done it in the past. We do it rarely because we don't normally receive official letters of support. And no, it's the agenda backup is not a forum for positive and negative comments. It is items in support of the agenda. So the short answer would be no. We wouldn't put letters of opposition. Although when we receive them, those are distributed to council.
Okay, let's go back and make sure I understand what you're saying there, because we had several letters of support on this particular item as part of the agenda's official backup material. And you're saying that oppositional letters would be not permitted?
I didn't say they wouldn't be permitted. I just said that they would not. We don't. It is rare that we include letters of support because we don't normally receive them. As you see, we went through the bulk of the agenda, and there weren't. They're non-controversial, but the agenda is items in support of the backup to the agenda is items in support of the agenda item. It is not a full discussion of the item.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that, because I've received phone calls on this issue, about whether the city has changed its practice of allowing letters of support to be part of the official agenda backup material, and if that's the case, will a person or an entity or an organization in opposition be allowed to use the same forum as the city's website to get out the item?
And I don't think I was unclear. The answer would be no. But if council members don't want to see letters of support, I have no objection to not including them.
No, it's not that I want to not see letters of support. I want the full picture. If the city's going to use this website to disseminate one side of the issue, saying do it, do it, do it, I think it's no more than fair that opposition have the same access to the same public forum to say no and why no. Thank you. I appreciate the response.
Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. Generally, I'm opposed to new ways of taxing and feeing the citizens and businesses of the city of Houston. But the primary reason for I feel compelled to, three reasons why I feel compelled to have to vote no today to this matter is that there is talk about this not just being for the Washington Avenue corridor, but perhaps implemented similar districts across the city. Also, that it is an item where we don't have any opt-out or back out within the 18-month trial period. What if something where a negative were to arise where the neighborhoods or businesses feel compelled that we need to get out of this new district within the 18-month period? That's a long period to have to endure something that might be a negative response on their impact in that area. And finally, I'm saddened that many feel that they're compelled to compromise or settle, and because they're so eager to, and justifiably so, to get some type of level of relief with this situation that they face for many years in their area. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Pettit.
Thank you, Mayor. I am going to be voting on this matter because I'm convinced that based on all the testimony, particularly from the residents, that it's an important thing that we do try to implement it to improve the parking situation. The Washington corridor is important for the residents. It's important for the restaurants, for the entertainment, but also information and tourists to go, and also for our residents. But this is a pilot program, and I hope that we will be well organized to monitor what the impact of this ordinance is. Hopefully it will be positive. I wonder if we could consider creating a website so that the businesses and the people who frequent the area could give us information, or Facebook site, whatever the appropriate way to do it, so we can get actual information on the impact. I don't know what that is going to be. I know that there will continue to be parking problems that we have to deal with, and I hope that the council can get a report on who's assigned to it, what procedures are going to be followed, and what we're doing to assemble additional information of the impact, and that we have, I think, regular, I believe monthly reports, I believe is what you stated. Perhaps it won't be that often, but regular reports and an awareness that this problem is not likely to be solved just by the creation of this district. I think, additional expenditures will probably have to be made out there, although it's done, and hopefully it be done by the private sector in the city. But anyway, it's an area that needs to be nurtured, and I just hope we'll pay full attention to it. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember, there is already a website for the district. We're calling it up, and I'll give you the further information on it. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, ma'am. I am in support of this item. One of the things I want us to maybe in the future think about, how do we move forward? Because we're going to constantly have this disagreement between the business and the communities. As the next 10 to 15 years come around, we're going to have another nice little hot spot where you're going to have bars and clubs in this entertainment area. And maybe there's some way we can somewhat grandfather some of these areas, because sometimes the restaurants and the bars attract the development, and sometimes it's not fair that the restaurants have to give way to the neighborhood for with the sound ordinance and things like that. So pretty much we're going to put a lot of constraints on the businesses, and again, I'm for it. I'm not saying that we just have to find a balance, because in the future, looking forward, we've got to look at both sides, and I think we're doing it now, but we just need a little bit more, I guess, look into the ordinances a little bit more deeper.
Yes, sir, and council members, there's the parking management website. It says Washington Avenue Parking Solution, and there's a feedback clock right there. Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I just want to thank Councilmember Cohen and Mr. Pagel and everyone on his team and your administration. This has been in discussion now for many years, and it wasn't a knee-jerk response to an issue. We, I think, took long steps to make sure we were heading in the right direction, studied other cities to see what works, and I think it's one more tool. I don't think anyone's guaranteeing that this will necessarily fix all the issues. I think we still need a more comprehensive approach to the area, consider the overlap of perhaps entertainment districts that could better manage some of these situations as they do develop, and try to look at it in a more positive light, that rather than more punitive all the time, when we've seen other entertainment areas emerge, like Richmond Avenue, for example. So I commend the city, because this is a little bit of outside the box thinking. We're finding modern tactics to deal with current urban issues. And I think we're only going to continue to see the development of this as we see more infill development, more densification. We're seeing today, with the passage of some of the items before council, where we're developing our urban core, and that's hopefully only going to continue to extend outwards, where we can continue to grow our tax base. So we need to find modern ways of dealing with these issues, and not just creating more concrete parking lots, but finding ways that we could better manage traffic flow, and hopefully return some of those investments back to make the necessary infrastructure improvements, like better crosswalks, better lighting, making sure we're keeping pedestrians safe. We've seen accidents out there involving pedestrians where they were injured, hurt, even killed, and we need to make sure that we're paying better attention and improving those crosswalks so that more people can enjoy these destinations. Thank you.
Councilmember Rath.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to commend Councilmember Cohen as well as Councilmember Gonzalez for looking at this issue. And my question is directed toward Mayor Parker. I know this is an 18-month pilot, but we're already getting some calls in my office about some excitement because one of the things that has been commented on saying when you all run on economic development about bringing businesses and opportunity to the city. So this is a wonderful thing that you all are doing, but they're asking at what point when the pilot comes to its conclusion that other communities can say, hey, we want this. So at what point do we start looking at other communities? Do we wait till the end of the 18 months or particular process will begin like in the middle? Or what avenues are we giving to other communities? At what stage do we say, okay, we just start looking at other communities? So have we looked at that yet? Because that's some of the phone calls that we're getting in and I don't have an answer. I'm just saying waiting to the pilot is over. So I'm not sure exactly how to address that. So I will look to your lead to see how we do that. Because some communities are excited, especially the ones that's close to Councilmember Cohen and some of those corridors that are in District 3.
Councilmember, this is, when you use the phrase pilot, it sounds as if we're gonna set a template here and we're gonna use that template throughout the city. The goal is to find solutions to the particular conditions that exist on the ground. As I have mentioned previously in this chamber, Councilmember Cohen is lucky to have a number of these areas with a lot of nightlife and a lot of close proximity of restaurants and bars and residences. Certain parts of Montrose, the Rice Village, Midtown, this is happening. There is no reason to wait. This solution is not the solution that would apply in those other areas. I would encourage district council members to get in with their constituents and see if there's a particular combination of tools that exist or tools that we can create that would work in those other districts. Councilmember Burks.
Mayor, yesterday, this is just for my information here, there was a lady in public session that came up and spoke about parking problems in the 3rd Ward area, Live Oak. And it was supposed to have been, I thought it was an item today. I don't know if she was in that conversation. Was it not? Was I mistaken?
We passed the residential permanent parking item on the agenda.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure. That's what
We
you want?
We are, yes, sir. Of course, we have the residential permanent parking tool now. What is unique in this Washington Avenue corridor is we're using a number of different tools in combination and rebating revenue back. So there's some unique issues, but hers was just the permit parking.
Permit parking.
And we did pass that over.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Moving to a vote on the item. Favoring, opposed, item carries. Council members Sullivan and Brown voting no. Again, Councilmember Cohen, I want to congratulate you on yeoman's work. I think you learned, obviously you learned how to do it, so those other areas I mentioned can benefit from your new expertise.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm also glad you mentioned all the bars and restaurants, but the fact that we're coming up to the holiday season, I think we'll just take a break and rest.
Council members, just one note, the solution on Washington Avenue does not appear magically overnight. So it's going to take a little bit of time to put the meters in place, get the permit parking in place. Once all of that is in place and we're ready to activate it, we will come back to council and we'll start the clock. So we'll know when the 18-month period will commence, because there is a transition time. And there are no other agenda items. Then Councilmember Brown, I believe, is up first. She's not